everybody says.
Shivers ran through my spine with the freezing moonlight. It's long after midnight, but my eyes are open wide. Dying of inner pain, I can hardly feel it. Maybe I've gone insane, but it seems like your voice is calling my name. It's calling my name. It's calling my name. Wake me up from my dreams, full of sadness and tears. And I know you can save me. I know you can set me free. Burning down all my past, leaving it all behind. And I know you can save me. I know you can set me free. Free, 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 free. Shivers ran through my spine with the freezing moonlight. It's long after midnight, but my eyes are open wide. Dying of inner pain, I can hardly feel it. Maybe I've gone insane, but it seems like your voice is calling my name. It's calling my name. It's calling my name. Wake me up from my dreams, full of sadness and tears. And I know you can save me. I know you can set me free.
Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Welcome in, everyone, to AOR. This is round 9 for the Austrian Grand Prix for the America League. I am Curtis Kenyon. Alongside me is Austin Knight. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, hello, hello. It's great to be here, Curtis. I am just very glad to be in the commentary box with you tonight for this great round 9 here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Certainly the hills will be alive with horsepower.
Indeed, indeed. Taking a look at some of these track facts. A couple highlights here. That first run up to turn 1, super short, lots of action right there, and then a very, very long sort of back straight, if you will. Should make for a ton of action here. It has all weekend a fantastic circuit. I mean, it's 4.3 kilometers, but honestly, it's so fast.
Yeah, lap times in qualifying will go down to 103 in the top tiers today, and honestly, this track, it's just fun to drive. It's just blistering fast, and it's just a roller coaster. High elevation changes all over the place. Go uphill, go downhill, go left, right, all over the place. Everything great about an F1 track. And
not to mention the DRS zones, extremely important here. They have kind of made or break the races for a lot of people. You really have to time it out. You have softs, ultra softs, and was it super softs, ultra softs, and yeah, available.
It's softs, super softs, ultra softs.
That's what we're thinking. Yeah, the track record right now for the pole time, Alvaro Carlton at 1:04.951 with a total time by Daniel Berezne of 27.638 seconds, I should say. Should be a very fast race. To give you an idea, this is the track, and like you mentioned, lots of up and downs, but only 10 turns.
Yes, only 10 turns. There's a big debate on the turns since after turn 1, there's this little kink in the straight in this long DRS zone. That's being called a turn this year. So that'll be turn 2.
We got to go into the hot lap though, just to show everybody what it looks like.
Here we are riding on board with ACR Raven as he takes us for a spin around the Red Bull Ring, home of round 9 of the AOR Hype Energy F1 Leagues. Climbing up the hill to start the lap and into turn 1, braking at 100 metres and dropping from 8th gear into 4th for what is a really short apex. Now it's important not to scrub off much speed as you begin the long climb up the hill, through the kink of turn 2 and into the braking zone of turn 3, dropping from 8th gear down into 2nd. Now this is the summit of the circuit, some 60 metres above the start-finish straight, but it's all back downhill from here, opening up the DRS and going down towards the braking zone of turn 4, which is really tricky. Got to hug the inside like your favourite granny. Don't let the car run out onto the curb. You want to avoid that as you now go flat out through turn 5 into the area where the racetrack comes alive. Into the blind entry of turn 6. 5th gear through here, accelerating into turn 7. Throw the car in and then get spat out as you go on to turn 8. Now 2 corners left of what is the shortest circuit on the calendar. Here comes Raven into turn 9. 6th gear, incredible speed through there. The prancing horse gallops round the final corner and up to the line to complete the lap here in Spielberg.
So
as we take a look at the standings for this particular league itself, it's been an interesting one. A lot of not, DNFs, a lot of DNSs. It's been a rough season for a lot of people.
yeah, it certainly has been a rough season, but most of the DNFs did not starts are at the bottom. At the top, they're more consistent. Some Idiot and Raven, the title fight is still going on. That gap just 15 points. But don't forget about Fluffy Dave. He's also in the mix as well. 35 points behind of Some Idiot. So top 3 is Some Idiot, Raven, and Fluffy Dave. Those are the 3 guys to watch today and probably throughout this entire season.
And I have to admit, I'm very impressed by everybody's performance so far. It has been fantastic, as for some reason the music on that video is insanely loud. Just turn that down a little bit. But yeah, you get an idea as to kind of what to expect here at the Americas League, if you will. It has been a rough and tumble league. We have seen some very interesting performances, but all told, a lot of competition by everyone, really.
Yeah, competition has been really fierce. Somebody taking the maiden victory, followed by Raven taking the second victory. I don't know who won the third race. Oh, wait. That guy won the third race.
That's right.
Yeah.
We take a look at the Constructors' Championships, Ferraris with a 190, Williams pretty much on Some Idiot's back with a 141 at this point, McLaren with an 81, and Toro Rosso with a 76. So a lot of work to be done there for the Constructors' Championship. as we're going to go head out onto the track for qualifying, as it's just getting underway here. 15 minutes left as we just get started.
Yep, qualifying is here as, oh, we got a Haas already starting the action. That's Intergalactic Gentleman. Spun off the track already out of turn 1. And Nita's kind of parked it up in the grass. Great way to start qualifying with a bit of action right there. As the stream is apparently laggy, but I believe we can fix that.
No, it's not laggy. It's just we're having internet issues again.
Well, as the American internet system fixes itself in the way it usually does, let's take a look around the track. Jonathan AI, actually no, King AV says the first time on 104.550, but Fluffy Dave takes it up very soon with a 104.550. I just read Fluffy Dave's time for King AV. I am sorry about that. But Fluffy Dave sitting on top on those ultra soft tires. Currently the only driver on top, as everyone is going to be doing that, going to run around and pit. The tire strategies for today, we got 2 strategies that can battle each other. The ultra soft to soft tires, or the super soft to soft tires. So we might see a few drivers start on the super softs or try to do some quality laps on the super soft tires. We can also see the ultra soft, super soft 2-stop strategy, which was pulled out by Daniel Berezne this morning. And honestly, it was freaking impressive if y'all were able to catch that. As Fluffy Dave is heading into the pits right now. Let's go on board with second place in the championship, Mr. ACR Raven. He's just making his way through the field right now. Coming to the final 2 corners. He's sitting in that really awkward pit lane, and yeah, he's just throwing his car in there. Not happy about the tire wear, or maybe looking for a different set to start on. Bit of a lockup, but he's not starting on that lap, so it is all good for him.
Taking a look right now at Italy Force. Haven't seen this name here at the America's Cup in, well, never. He's a new one. I believe he's a sub.
Yes, he is a sub, not a subway sub. He's a reserve driver.
Yes.
Sub. Wonder if he's actually Italian. Anyway, as we wonder, Italy Force coming around the final turn, running wide on the curbs, stays in, opens up DRS and across the line to put him up into 8th place. I believe the car behind him got a very faster time, and we completely skipped over some idiot as he got pole position earlier.
Well, I mean, when you expect it. He said.
Well, he is leading
Kappa.
the championship. Yeah, Kappa is in chat. Oh wait, this is YouTube.
Can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, just type out Kappa.
Right, exactly. But yeah, some idiot looking clean as always.
Yeah, I was talking with someone before the race. He's very confident about his setup. He's going for that one stop I mentioned about this ultra soft to soft tires. This guy is just ridiculously smart about tire wear and just everything. So most of the strategies I get are actually from him. And if you ever need a car setup, ask this guy. Because he is very knowledgeable about this game, and it's kind of showing to us right now as he's sitting on top. I believe Alsney is not going on a flying lap. But someone who is Z-Womp, sitting down in 16th place. Hasn't set a time. We got 2 parked cars on the apex of turn 3, and Z-Womp just rocketing through there. I don't think he's broke at all, as I don't know what's going on with that the Alfa Romeo and other car over there, but Z-Womp looking very nice. It runs a bit wide on the entrance of turn 4 through turn 5, also known as Schlossberg. I don't actually think that was the name of the turn, but through turn 6 and turn 7. to this little compound. Turn 7, turn 8, chicane. Very, very fun and fast. Left, right flick of the car into the double right-handers. Runs a bit wide on the exit curve read. Comes across turn 10. Very in control of that. And hard on the gas and across the line. Z-Womp sits in 9th place.
Not a bad lap. He did run wide there through the turn 8-9 complex, or turn 7-8, I should say, the chicane. Going a little bit wide there, and it kind of messed up the lap overall. Looks like he's gonna have another go right here, and you really have to nail this braking point. If you don't, I mean, you can lose a second trying to correct that easily.
Yeah, and in qualifying, you do not want to lose any amount of times, since we have a big double lockup in Schlossgold, which is the actual name of that corner, the turn 4 and 5 corner, and going through Roch and through Worth Curve. I'm not Austrian, and I don't know if this is how you actually pronounce this stuff, and I'm just guessing on the top of my hand, so I just may stick to numbers, honestly.
I think we're going to stick to numbers on this one. Let's keep it simple for us dumb Americans, I think.
It goes up to 10, and that's how many fingers I have.
Exactly. Z-Womp putting in a 105. That's going to move him up to 9th. I believe he was in 10th here before. Adjustments need to be made, I think. He is having some trouble with the braking for sure. Possibly move that braking bias back. Maybe 0.5%, I think, would help him a lot. Yeah, he's still locking up into the very slow corners. And just kind of bring that rear end around a little bit. Looks like he's got his car set up to where it's more front end oriented. It doesn't want to turn as well as it should. And at a track like this, you want that back end to kind of come around a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to whip it around, but you just want it to sort of drift around a touch. That way you don't have to fry up your front tires.
Yeah, as you're saying that, we have a retirement of Jonathan AI. I think he's retired in the pits because there's no yellow flags out on track. So Jonathan AI set a time on the soft tires of a 107.284. I believe he's just trying out something and may just had to retire, and I don't know why he retired. There's 8 minutes left. So I'm on board with Altsny right now, coming across the very final turn. Cut that corner just a little bit when it comes across the line and did not improve it. So I think he's going to do a bit more of a Raven run, as we've been seeing Raven do, where he would stick on one tire for about 6 to 7 laps. Well, not 6, about 4 laps before he would pit for his actual lap tires. But Altsny, double lockup going into turn 3 as some idiot sets a new fast lap of 104.213, farther expanding his gap to some idiot. No, Fluffy Dave.
Fluffy Dave, yeah.
It's a 0.135. That is very close between the top two.
I mean, it is. But, I mean, we're talking about a fairly slow track, or I should rephrase that, fairly short track as far as lap time goes. So that could be miles comparatively. That said, I mean, Fluffy Dave, we have seen him run some very, very quick laps. We'll have to see if he's able to pick up the pace a little bit. But he's been sitting in the pits for a little while. I think he's just not feeling too confident here.
I think he's just waiting for the track to rubber in, save those tires, or just wait for the track just to be, like, not busy at all. Because there's a lot of cars just sitting on the edge of the track as they're just letting other cars go by. Let's see what Kingy AV is up to as he's running through the 7-8 chicane. Kingy AV, really good in the championships. Been fairly up there in most of the runnings for most of the races. So he's very happy as he sets a 104.464.
Not bad.
0.251 seconds behind of some idiot. So the top 3 are incredibly close to each other. And when ACR Raven comes out and sets his time, it's going to be a 4-way fight for the lead.
I have to agree with that. We're watching Kingy right now, and he is looking very smooth. And that's one of the things that you want to be at this track, is just as smooth as possible. Transition between straightaway and corner just smoothly and effortlessly as possible. And I know it's tough because some of these corners you really have to dart through, but it really looks like Kingy's kind of just taking it easy right now, making his way back around the track.
Yeah, he just set his lap and is going back for in lap. We got 5 minutes left in this qualifying session in the hills of Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Currently, everyone's sitting on the ultra soft tires. Let's run through the qualifying order. Currently, it's Some Idiot sitting on provisional pole, followed by Fluffy Dave, King AV, Simsbad, Mikey, Spider, Manku, Italy Force, Jolly who was a reserve driver, but he's now on the Red Bull side. So, oh. Speaking of Red Bull, there is a Red Bull in the wall, and that's Jolly. He's spun it out of turn 3. Yeah, a big spot on this track is turn 3. We're going to be seeing most of the moves as King AV has retired from the session. But we're going to be seeing most of the moves of the race being happened in turn 3 or on the run up to turn 3, because in between turns 1 and 3 is this long DRS straight.
Yeah,
that's basically the key to this track. You want to have the best run out of turn 1 and then the best entrance into turn 3, and at the start of this race it's going to be all craziness going in there.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute craziness, and we're already seeing a penalty. Here's Mikey getting into a bit of an altercation there with Altesny. Already seeing contact.
Can you guys wait 4 minutes before the race starts? But anyways, it looks like Raven is on a flyer right now. So let's go on board with the Ferrari man himself. Second place in the championship. Can he top Some Idiot and get a gain in the battle for America?
Taking a look right now. Nice line. Just fading out right here. Oh, exacting on the cut-in right there for, I believe that was 7 and 8.
Yes, it is. That is going to be soft on the brakes. Just a tiny lift off.
Little scrub.
Ooh, getting very wide onto the curves. Just tapping it, keeping it in the track and across the line. And that's pole. 103.814, first sub 104 time today in the Americas League.
I would be expecting Some Idiot to come out here. He is on his outlap, so we could potentially see a little bit of a battle here in the last 3 minutes of qualifying.
Well, you know what they say. It's going to be a shootout in the very last clutch points, and it is a shootout. Let's ride on board with Some Idiot as he takes us around the Red Bull Ring to see if he can topple down ACR Raven and close up that gap or be ahead of him. Because I believe if you start on pole, you start on the outside line.
Yes.
So Some Idiot will have to jump, but he will be starting a car length behind. Ooh. Big lockup in that front right tire. Opens up DRS. He flies down that long turn 3, 4 straight. On the brakes, bit of a lockup again through Schlossgold. Through turn 5. Very flowy turn. You don't want to be here when it rains. Then it just goes all crazy. Through turn 6, runs on the curbs a little bit. Not even getting off the curbs. Turn 7 and 8. More using of those curves, but staying within the white lines. He's more gracious with the track than Raven was. I don't see more scrubbing, but through the final turn, Some Idiot back in, way out, and across the line. Does not top his time. But someone who did top his time while we were not looking was Fluffy Dave. Fluffy Dave sitting in second place right now. I'm sorry, Dave, that we didn't get your lap, but he's 0.052 seconds behind of ACR Raven. What a lap from Fluffy Dave.
Definitely the Toro Rosso driver coming in nicely. He's just kind of cruising around the track at this point. Don't want to push too hard right now. Just make sure you get back to the pits in one piece.
Yeah, I believe he's going to the pits right. Yeah, he's heading into the pits right now. The Red Bull Ring is very notorious for this weird pit lane. And so hopefully it doesn't have any altercations like it did in France that also had this weird pit lane, but honestly, I haven't seen anything crazy from that pit lane right now. Summon is the only driver in the top group, and he's heading into the pits, as I believe everyone else in the midfield is in the pits right now. Let's look at Mikey. Mikey's sitting in 8th, driving for Renault. Very happy, as the entire top 5 is just not even on the track anymore. As Mikey pulling his car back into the pits.
Into the pits, yeah. Z-Womp going into the pits as well. Looks like everybody will be calling it from here. Take a look at Manku. Crossing the line here, looking to improve his time. Does not.
Sorry if I'm sorry, I'm working on the driver of the day stuff.
That's all right. Italy Force looks like he is going to give it one more try. Playing down here with the DRS open.
Oh, that Toro Rosso has gone off the track. Was that Fluffy Dave?
No, that would have been Manku. Fluffy Dave is out of the server at the moment.
Oh, that's right.
Just having a look here at Italy Force. He's looking very smooth. We haven't seen him this season yet, so going to be a good idea just to see how he goes around. He's looking pretty good, actually. Let's see how he handles himself in the race, though.
All right. So I have the entire driver of the day stuff getting ready to go. So that will be up and ready when it comes on, as the times has come to a close, as the qualifying session has finished. We do have one car out on track, but nope. It's just came across, and that is your qualifying session here at the Red Bull Ring. You want to run us through the session?
Yeah, no, we got you. Raven sitting on top. A fantastic lap time of 1:03.814. Breaking the record from last time, that's for sure. We'll have to figure out who exactly holds the record now, but that is blistering. Fluffy Dave coming in 0.052 seconds as the game goes through its deal here. Galidone finishing 13th place. He was the last on the track, so our cameras were on him. We make our way through.
The black screen of the loading, and here's your finishing qualifying position. Mikey also had that 5 grid place penalty, so I believe he'll be starting near the back end or P14. But it's Raven taking pole, followed by Fluffy Dave, Summit in 3rd, King AV in 4th, Simsbad, Spider, Heineken, Kane Jr., Mikey, Z-Womp, Manku, Italy Force, Jallydun, Frankie, Intergalactic Gentleman, Aldstein, and Jonathan AI finishing up the grid.
Jonathan on the softs. Let's see how he goes. So we take a look at the literal Red Bull. Oh, and we have a raining start.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. This
changes literally everything.
Yes, it does. You know, yeah, this is gonna be a fun race. I can already tell you. It's looking like it's coming down extremely hard, and it will be a full wet, honestly.
Oh yeah. No, this is a definite full wet as we wait for the drivers to load in.
So this start, it's gonna be very, very interesting. Because remember, all these guys do not have any assists enabled, as in all AOR Hype Energy F1 leagues, all assists are disabled. So this formation lap could get pretty dicey, as the cars are off, as they're just going to try to get a feel for the track and get all the dribble out of their systems.
I mean, good luck with that.
Well, yeah, and you know how I said everyone's starting on the wet tires? No, everyone's starting on the intermediate tires, so they're expecting this rain to go away, or it's not affecting their race so much, as Fluffy Dave's taking a very generous line on the outlap.
I have to admit, I didn't expect that. I expected full wets.
Well, you can never expect these guys, and that's why we're in the box and not driving.
Well, I mean, the other thing, too, is that they have access to the weather data. Unfortunately, we do not here in the box. You would think we'd have a really cool screen that would give us all that stuff, but we don't, unfortunately.
We just got a TV.
Yeah.
And a box of Hype Energy.
Wait, you have Hype Energy?
Yeah.
I want some Hype Energy.
Well, you can get some Hype Energy
I
at
can't.
any store.
Yeah, not in California.
You can get it online.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
We also got this nice Stream Deck here as well.
Yes, that we do, and that Stream Deck is controlling this race, at least the cameras that you see here this evening. Unfortunately, I did kind of mess up on one of the settings. Which is the transition that you're about to see. We have a little new feature here. Yeah, your commentators, Curtis Kenyon and Austin Knight, bringing you the action from Austria as the lights are about to go out. We see we get this thing underway.
Everyone's all lined up and ready to go. Here comes the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it a 5. And away they go.
A long hold.
Yeah, a very long hold. For the AOR Hype Energy FL 2018 America PC Season 16. Oh, there's a car already off and in the wall. Off the straight line. Some idiot flies extremely wide, but look at the Williams. Oh, wait, somebody is not in the Force India yet, but there's 3 wide immediately.
Over the place in the background.
Oh my goodness, but there's 3 wide going into turn 3. Raven on the in the middle, somebody around the outside, Fluffy Dave on the inside. There's front wings all over the place. I don't know what to look at, honestly, but everyone is just all around the track. The front 3 are just all trying to control the car. Raven's got a good lead. Somebody has jumped over Fluffy Dave, and now somebody is trying to close down the gap to ACR Raven. As the spray from that Ferrari is blinding, and I can only assume on how bad the spray is in that midfield pack.
Well, it looks like everyone is kind of spread out a little bit.
Well, everyone except for the front leaders, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's for sure. The top 3 definitely all over each other. They got to be careful on these rumble strips. Just going on the outside of the track because they're going to lose so much grip. We're already seeing cars fly around. And look at that very slow lap time. ACR Raven with a 1:21. That is an extremely slow time.
Yeah, we already have a few cars going into the pits right now. No. It was just a slow start off the line. Somebody sitting in that draft going to have a hard time braking with these no ABS brakes, and braking in the rain is very tricky. I certainly haven't figured it out, but some idiot didn't lock up those brakes at all as he's sitting in ACR Raven's wake. And hopefully, I didn't get a message from any of the guys saying that this race will dry out, so this might be a full wet race. So it's gonna be very action-packed as the front 2 are just pulling away from everyone else. So they're having like their own little fight. Fluffy Dave has fallen down. Heineken has made a pass on Simsbad. Simsbad is actually going extremely slow in turn 7, actually. Don't know if he doesn't have any damage. He's just going extremely slow for there. As the Troll roster of Manku is trying to make a move. Look at the Renault of Mikey and Manku side by side throughout turn 9 and into turn 10. Is it going to be Mikey? They're still side by side. And it's a drag race here in Austria. He sends it up the inside, but no, it's going to be Manku with the advantage right there. Mikey just having to surrender that position to Mankiw for P7.
Yeah, but Mikey's just hanging in there at this point. He wants to stay as close as he can. The DRS will not come on in the rain, so that has now been negated. The one thing that really made this track very unique was the fact that it had the 3 DRS zones and their locations on such long straightaways. Unfortunately, that is now gone, so the strategies that you might have of utilizing that, just throw it out the window. You're going to have to drive around these guys.
Yeah, it has become a full-on driver's track right here with the DRS disabled, and that usually kept the race more closer. It's more of what some would say a tool to keep the race artificially close, but no, you're going to have to keep it in the wake of the guy in front of you. As let's go on board with Kenyon AV sitting behind a Heineken. He's getting up a lot of time throughout turn 9s and 10. Coming down that front straight. Watch this braking zone. Kenyon may try something.
Oh, lock
up of the front 2 wheels. He's just sitting behind Heineken, and he's got a better exit. We might be seeing a move forward to be. Oh my goodness!
Oh, dude.
Heineken brake checking in the middle of the track. I don't know if that was brake checking or not, but Kenyon AV thankfully kept it out of the wall and out of the back of Heineken. But that car just stopped in the middle of the track. As let's look at the back of Mankiw, Simsbad, and Kane Jr. As they have Mikey, Mankiw, and Simsbad. As there's a 3-way battle going in through turns 4 and 5. Mankiw on the inside of Mikey, and Simsbad joining Mankiw. As Mikey down on the inside through turn 6 is going to be Mankiw around the outside. No, they're still side by side through this. Turn 7 and 8. On the curbs is Mankiw. Mikey trying to hold around the outside. Simsbad, this is extremely close racing in the wet.
There's some definite trust going on here as they make a way around the penultimate corners of this circuit. An extremely wet day here in the Austrian hills, but they managed to keep it clean and doesn't look like anybody's lost any wing. Yeah, definite round of applause for that one. But Simsbad coming in nicely here.
Woo!
Big outside swing there, and we're going to be seeing that pretty much all race.
Mankiw just went off the track. I think he just locked up, trying to go for a move, and Mankiw just lost all the places. And he's off the track, and he's now down into P10, and we got kind of a trade between Mankiw, Jaildun, Kane Jr., Simsbad, and Mikey, but Mikey pulling away from this group as they're all separating themselves, and the fight is still between Mankiw and Jaildun for P9 after Mankiw's unfortunate mistake. Mankiw trying to hold the throttle as he's chasing down the Red Bull, the Toro Rosso, and the Red Bull fighting for dominance as Raven and Somebody are putting in faster and faster laps. The 1:15.330, that's not in that gray area. It is very wet. Jaildun get extremely wide on the exit of turn 9. Mankiw getting a good exit on turn 10, but right behind Jaildun sitting in that draft. Where is Mankiw gonna go for the move? If he is going for the move, or is he setting up for turn 3? You got a yellow flag in sector 3. It's Jonathan AI. Jonathan AI is in the gravel, and unfortunately, he's been given a 10-second time penalty. What a disastrous thing for Jonathan AI. Hopefully, his car shot off to the left again. Gone in the wall. Hopefully he still has all of his wings, so that is very good. Let's go back to this fight between Jaildun and Mankiw for P9. As I'll let you take over the comms right now.
Yeah, we got Mankiw getting very close to Jaildun. Both drivers just having a bit of a rough time here in the rain. just trying to race each other. And it's going to be tough here. These guys are on intermediates. I don't know why they started on intermediates, first of all. Second of all, trying to keep the cars under control has been an absolute task to behold. And only Jonathan AI has been eliminated from the race so far. So not too bad.
He drove into the pit lane after that spun and just
called it.
Yeah, he just called it. He doesn't like the raid, and I can see why. Mankiw and Jaldan, they're still going at it after these laps. Mankiw just trying to find any way he can get around that Red Bull with that Toro Rosso. Different powered engine units right now. Honda versus Renault. We got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2, but I'm not going to look away. Big lockup from Mankiw. He's trying to sneak it down the inside through Slosh Gold, but no. Jaldan holds it around the outside using that Max Verstappen karting line, which I don't really think is a thing in F1 2018. Jaldan running really wide, trying to find any grip that he can to get any advantage from Mankiw right now. As this is some close battling.
Closest battle on the track other than Z-Womp and Intergalactic Gentleman. Getting very close right now.
Yeah, this is front wing to gearbox. Jaldan gets a little bit loose on the back end, launches car down the inside, but he's now going back on the outside. Mankiw's getting the run, going down to turn 1. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts, because how do they make it through there so cleanly?
Very careful driving. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Usually you expect, as I've certainly looked over the AOR American League memes that have been posted of everybody crashing, this race would put everyone to shame.
Oh, Mankiw looking for a pass.
Mankiw, I'll let you handle this one.
Mankiw manages to motor around him. Jaldan got left in the dust as Mankiw got a massive exit going out of turn 3 and just powered around him. Toro Rosso looking fantastic right now.
Yeah, that Toro Rosso looks extremely great in the rain and on track, and it's just handling a dream for Mankiw. So he's trying to close down that gap for P8, but he sits in 9th currently. He's going to be happy with that 2 points in this opening stint as the rain is still falling. All these drivers. Oh, let's look at Spider and Intergalactic Gentleman. Spider side by side with the Haas of Intergalactic Gentleman. Can the Ferrari sneak it up the inside? Yes, he does. What a great move from Spider. But Frankie, he spun it. Frankie went wide into the gravel out of turns 8 and 9. He's a big lockup for the Force India. I think he might have wing damage as he's limping his car. Yeah, he does have wing damage as he's dragging his Force India into the pits right now. Big lockup, takes out the braking board in the pit lane. Thankfully, that doesn't hurt most of the drivers. So he's going for a wing replacement and all of that.
Got to try to finish the race more than anything else, especially in something like this. Great practice in the rain. Italy Force, one of the faster guys out here, taking a 3-second time penalty, and he's actually sitting in 14th. I was expecting him to be a lot higher. I don't think he got the start that he wanted, and being able to catch anyone in this rain is going to be absolutely heroic. Yeah,
there are dry tire specialists, and then there's wet specialists. But to be the best, you have to be both specialists of that, as I'm on board with some idiot right now. Is getting extremely loose on the exit of turn 3. His back end is shot out behind him as he's still just trying to stay within touching distance of ACR Raven. As we look like a little battle is forming up between Mikey and Simsbad. Simsbad Tokyo drifting it around turn 3. Just full-on opposite lock as he's chasing down Mikey. So that kind of really killed all the battle that we had going between these two. But Mikey going for a very wide line outside of Slosh Gold, whatever you, turn 4. But Simsbad just trying his best to close in that gap, but he just overshot that turn once again. So we got another yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I'm surprised the safety car did not come out yet.
Yet.
That is... Yeah, Altony comes across track, and Sinbad's hit him. Sinbad and Altony has come together over me. As thankfully, no massive crash came out of that. Sinbad, I believe his car is okay, as I just dropped probably the most casual Beatles reference in the world. As we are having a fight on the straight. I believe that's the lap car of Pranky. I thought that was Kane Jr. somehow making a move, but nope.
Yeah.
Oh, Sinbad once again opposite lock outside of turn 3. As Pranky gets a 3-second time penalty for getting out of the way. That's a bit harsh, don't you think?
Well, you know, you got to pay attention. It looks like the clouds are starting to break up a little bit. I don't know if the rain will stop in time, as we're already 11 laps into this. I would imagine there would need to be a pit stop at some point. I don't think these tires can last as long as the whole race.
No, they will not last throughout this entire race. Z-Wop and Spider, as they're having a battle down through turn 3, both of them locked up and went off the track, as their gap has stayed the same through there. That was very interesting. I think Spider just like, yes, I have the opportunity on Z-Wop, and did the exact same thing. So track is looking a bit drier. The rain is not coming down as hard as it was during the start, so it may be clearing up, but you were right. It's definitely time for a pit stop on these intermediate tires. I would say halfway through the race, since they wear as hard. Like halfway through the race seems about the right time to go for a pit stop if it's going to stay wet like this. But I do know that this track... Oh! Spider! In the wall! And he's out of the race.
And that right there is why you do not want to get too hard on the go pedal. Right there. It will just spin you around, or you may have gotten caught up on the curbs a little bit. Can't do that either here in the rain, especially with how slippery this track is and the G-forces you carry through a lot of these corners. It's just not going to work. He's definitely listed as DNF.
Yeah, that entire front right wheel is dislocated as the suspension arm is completely broken. Let's go on board with Mikey and Heineken as they're approaching the wrecked car of Spider that has just despawned from the track. But Mikey and Heineken bound for P5. The track is looking a bit nicer now with this light drizzle, so we might see some guys try to go for some moves more than the other guys.
I would expect that these guys should start to kind of push the outside and try to keep these tires as cool as they can, because they're going to get really hot, especially these huge lockups like that one. Jeez, Mikey, very late braking. That's not going to help anything. His wheel's got to be shaking in his hands right now.
Yeah, the wheel is definitely shaking. If we go on board, you just see that wheel just moving from side to side. Is another big lockup as he's just trying to chase down Heineken, but everything he tries just doesn't go. But I must say, once this track stops raining, this track dries up like a bone. It dries up extremely fast as Alternate gets a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is something you do not want to have, as he sits at the back of the grid currently right now for another pit stop, so he might have had an issue with his front wing. But some idiot has closed up the gap to Raven. He's within a second of the Ferrari driver. So the two contenders for the championship just in a league of their own, like they have been for most of this championship.
Just trying to get an idea as to how some idiot's car is behaving at this point. Looks like he's got some decent throttle control. He's starting to figure it out. And as the track dries out, he's going to be able to push a little bit harder as long as he doesn't overheat those intermediates, which is a definite problem. And the same goes for Raven, really. I mean, let's face it, they are so close. And it really does kind of come down to a bit of a driver's style, and Raven seems to just have this track figured out nicely. That said, somebody able to keep it close, stay within striking distance, and force Raven to be honest. Let's face it, if you can't quite get up there to pass him, you might as well just stick with him. Maybe save a little fuel for the run towards the end. I mean, I don't know. A lot of times in the rain, too, a little bit of weight can help you grip. So, again, it all comes down to driving style and how the car is set up. And these two guys have nailed it pretty much all season.
Yeah, as the rain comes down to just a soft drizzle, the clouds are breaking up. Some idiot has closed in that gap, but didn't get the best exit out of there. That gap was about 2 seconds after the starting laps. As let's go back to Mankiw and Kane Jr. as they're having a little fight down the front. Oh, the track is dry. I repeat, the track is dry. DRS has been enabled.
I didn't even see that message.
I did.
Well, that's good to know. We'll have to see what happens from
Mikey,
here on out.
Sinbad, Jolly Dun, and Italy Force have died into the pits. All for the dry tires. Sinbad going for the super soft tires. No, for tire strategy. As Some Idiot and Raven are going into the pits. Who will have the advantage going into the pit lane? Raven and Some Idiot. Oh no! Raven gets a 5-second stop-go penalty. That is disastrous for Raven right there. He has to clear Some Idiot by 5 seconds to stay ahead of this race. But Some Idiot was just held in the pit lane for another driver. He can't come out of the pit lane. Fluffy Dave has jumped him. But
Some Idiot is out.
Yep. Some Idiot is out as long with Raven. Raven has to stay 5 seconds clear, which he does have right now after Some Idiot was held for the longest amount of time in that pit lane. He has to close in by a second to be in the net lead right now. That 5-second stop-go penalty is not helping Raven. These soft tires can go to the end of the race if you have the right setup. We know Raven is a bit aggressive on the tires, so we might see around lap 26, right when the driver of the day vote starts up, by the way.
I was going to say 26, 27, maybe 28.
Yeah, you might want to go into the pits right there. Go on to the ultra soft tires and have the final little shootout to the end of the race as 6 seconds separate the leaders on this drying track. Mankiw and Kane Jr. are on the opposite side of the track of the pit lane right now as both these guys on the intermediate tires just trying to limp back into the pits as fast as they can and as clean as they can so that they can close down. Let's go on board King AV approaching these two slower cars. King AV, just look at the pace he's got closing in on these two guys.
Trying to get there.
Oh, Mankiw and Kane Jr. are staying out. What the?
Yeah, I don't know.
King AV
into the wall.
Oh, Mankiw. That is not good. I'm going to watch a replay of that right now, see if there was any contact. King AV snuck around the outside right there. That was a beautiful helicopter shot, but looked like there might have been a bit of contact on the back wheel there between King AV and Mankiw. So hopefully that doesn't occur as King AV takes Kane Jr. and he goes up into P4 where he was in qualifying.
Mikey's made the pass on Mankiw as well.
Well, he's got front wing damage. So I was expecting that happens. Raven sets a new fast lap of 1:11.030. Some Idiot's going to close in and take out that fast lap. He is lapping 0.4 faster than Raven right now, so he clearly has the advantage as he is closing in as fast as he can. Let's go on board with Simsbad as he's approaching Kane Jr. Simsbad around the outside as Kane Jr. is just going into the pits. Simsbad's having a bit of lag issues, as I can see, as DRS was open for King AV with that lap car. It's up at Simsbad sets a new fastest lap. All the super soft tires are 1:10.561. And Kane Jr. and Mankiw had both died into the pits.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. I didn't know about saying out there right now. Some Idiot 6.68 seconds behind of Raven. He has to close in that gap by 1 second because Raven has that 5-second stop-go penalty. Will some idiot try and do the undercut strategy and go for the ultra soft tires as everyone's spread out by like 3 seconds to each other?
I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't understand what the warning is if they don't serve their stop-go, if that time is just added to them, or
it's added.
It's so they just add 5 seconds. Raven might as well just stay out.
Yeah, Raven's probably going to look for the staying out strategy and just try to nurse his tires to the end. Somebody might try to go for the more aggressive strategy and close in on Raven at the end, because we had a drag race earlier today in the F2 PCF2 race where the leader was out on soft tires and he stayed out, and the guy who eventually won it went onto the ultra soft tires, but there was a penalty involved as well, and that came down to a side-by-side drag race finish. Great finish, by the way. Congrats to Kimi Larson for that victory. Little side plug into another AOR league. Plenty of AOR action over the weekend as Jolly it looks pretty quick as he's closing in on Kane Jr. But Fluffy Dave sets a new fast lap of 108.054. The track is drawing out. The track is getting faster and faster. And I believe it's about to get wilder and wilder.
I would imagine that Simsbad would start to put in some pretty fast laps since he's out there on the super softs. Granted, if they're a lap older.
These super softs will not last to the very end of the race. He's probably going to push for 6 more laps. And he's going to go for the ultras and try to hold it in for just try to push as hard as he can, as he's 3 seconds behind a King AV, but he is gaining on the McLaren just by a tad bit. Somebody has lost 2 to 3 seconds on Raven after dealing with some lap traffic in turn 3. Is not good for some idiot right there.
Other time penalties being handed out as we move through. Everybody has pretty much just spread out. I mean, let's face it. It's gotten to the point to where everybody's kind of had this strategy. They threw it out the window. Now they're trying to piece together something to get to the end. And I know that some idiot, at least talking about the leaders, will probably just be trying to last out Raven at this point. And maybe hoping for Raven to make a mistake. Raven does have that penalty. Don't know exactly how that's going to play out when it comes to the penalty itself. If Raven doesn't actually go in for his his stop-go.
If Raven goes into the stop-go, the penalty will not be counted at the end of his time. If he stays out, he will have 5 seconds added to his time. So it's best to have 5 seconds added to your time at the end, because you'll also be held in the pit lane if some idiot decides to pit right now with Raven, since there will be a issue if the car will be held in the pit lane as some idiot was.
Right. Well, the other thing too is, the pit lane delta and all that. I mean, that should be part of the penalty. It's something I never really understood about the rules of this game, as far as, why isn't it doubled at least, or even tripled if you don't actually take the penalty? It doesn't make any real sense to me. But I mean, some idiots pretty much just holding out at this point. Time is starting to wind down, though.
Time is winding down. Some idiot sitting 8.1 seconds behind of Raven. Fluffy Dave actually closing in on some idiots. So some idiots' tires not looking the best right now. He may be looking to go into the pits for those ultra soft tires and try to close down on Raven as fast as he can. So he's coming up on the back of Italy Force right now. Not in DRS range, but he is within slipstream range, and we'll have DRS on the exit of turn 3. Hopefully Italy Force doesn't get in the way. on the exit of turn 3, but it looks like there might have been a bit of interference from Italy Force. Somebody is just like losing more time, but he did get the DRS out of that, but I don't think it was worth it. As let's look through the position changes. The biggest mover of today's race is Jalidun. Moved up 4 positions on the front on his start. I'm just fumbling over my words today. Yeah, but Jalidun, after he qualified on P13, has hopped up to P9. Z Mikey has moved up 3 places after starting in 9th place. And it's honestly very good. And I think it's time we open up the driver of the day. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Alrighty.
You have the link there handy, I'm sure.
Of the day. Vote is open. Click on that link and vote for your driver of the day. I don't believe this is the link. There's the voting page. Okay.
Take a look at Mikey here. Closing up on Simsbad. This is heating up nicely. Oh, Mikey to the outside. Simsbad. Careful not to lock up. Yeah, he just lets him go. Good move there by Simsbad. We might have the cut under. Going down the stretch here, and Simsbad has the DRS. He's holding on to it. He just might make it through. Lock up on both sides. Simsbad is able to go through. He had the better tires, but they will be fading fast. So he's trying to put as much space between him and the rest of the field as he can. But Z3 Mikey goes down right there as Manku is now out.
As we have a clearing, but Mikey and Sinbad going to the inside. Look at Sinbad going into the pits. And Mikey thankfully avoided that, but we got a yellow flag in Sector 3 as I believe where is that yellow flag in Sector 3 coming from? But ACR Raven rocketing through a few lapped cars, as I think that might have been a lapped car coming out of the way. As votes are coming in through driver of the day.
Oh, Raven nearly spun it on the final corner. Got all hung up on the curb. That was close there for the leader.
Yeah, you want to be as clean as possible if you want to stay in the lead with someone like some idiot behind you. Don't let the name fool you. The guy's actually smart.
Should probably just call himself some guy. Oh, Raven getting sideways again. He's so heavy on the accelerator. He's going to fry up those rear tires. Man, he's not even under any real pressure either.
He's under pressure by himself, as I'm going to give a little explanation of his situation. Some ACR Raven does have a 5-second stop-go penalty. It's been a bit altered by the Codys, but it's a 5-second penalty added onto his time. If he goes into pits, it will not count, but he will be held for 5 seconds. But if he doesn't pit, he will get 5 seconds added onto his time. So that is how the 5-second stop-go penalty works in F1 2018. Thank you, Dan, for letting us know. As I try to read through that as fast as possible.
No, that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. So if he does pit, then he serves the 5 seconds right there. If he doesn't pit, then the 5 seconds is added on. Okay, so Raven just has to make those tires last to the end of the race, which is what you meant earlier, I understand now. The problem with that now is he keeps frying those rear tires. He's got to be more careful with that.
He's being very aggressive on these tires, and he's actually increased his pace as a...
What?
Hi, Lance. Lance has joined the session. I don't know why. He was a bit late to the start. It's an hour late.
Might have just mistimed that a little bit.
Yeah, just tap it. But ACR Raven is still leading off this race. I think Raven might be going for a pit stop with this pace increasement because somebody is also staying out. So that is a story to be following. But with this 10-second gap that Raven has, it is looking all said and done. Even with a 5-second stop-go penalty, Raven might just want to keep it clean because I believe that's the only penalty that he has. As I'm going to take a look down into the penalty world.
We have seen Simsbad name pop up a couple of times. He is putting down some very, very fast laps. We'll have to see if he is able to possibly catch Heineken for a 6th place and a little bit more points. I don't think he's going to catch Mikey. He's just running out of time here with 8 laps to go.
Altney has 3-second time penalty. Simsbad has a few warnings, but I do believe he does have another penalty with him. ACR Raven has 2 warnings on his license right now. So if he gets another one, he will get another time penalty. That'll be 8 seconds of time penalty. So Raven's got to keep it clean through these closing laps.
And you're looking at the beneficiary of those penalties right there. Some idiot doing exactly what he needs to do is just keep it clean. He's very good at doing that. We've seen him do this many times. Just work the time penalties and keep his head down and run his own race. And it's worked out well for him pretty much this whole season.
Yeah, he's very good at overall pace once he's out in front. Something that's been very good at the tire strategies. But in this rain, that rainy start and qualifying that we had, it was a bit of a... I don't know if his setup was wrong or not, but ACR Raven just has the pace locked down to a T around the Red Bull Ring. With 7 laps to go, Raven leading by 10 seconds. 5-second time penalty to Raven currently, but that is just out the window with that 10-second gap to some idiot.
And with 6 laps to go, this race is looking like it will be pretty much done here at the front of the pack. Hee AV just holding his line as well. Mikey doing the exact same thing. Heineken has been kind of holding station there at about 5.3 seconds, but Simsbad looking extremely fast.
Yeah, let's hop on board with Simsbad right now, as he's closing in on the Red Bull here at the Red Bull Ring of Heineken, going through turn 6, coming up on the lap car of Frankie's. Simsbad looking for that outside line. Doesn't get the best eggs of that lap car of Frankie. Might be holding up Heineken just a tad bit. Simsbad sitting in the draft of Heineken. Might try any move that he can, but Frankie. Blue flags, dude. Blue flags. DRS. Both of these guys have DRSs. They're coming down the front straight. Oh my goodness. Simsbad going down the inside. Hard on the brakes. A bit of a lockup, but he does slide ahead on Heineken. But no, Heineken stays with Simsbad. There's an Alfa Romeo on the random inside the track. But it's going to be Simsbad taking P6 from Heineken as they're just trying to move through these cars. Z-Womp is getting very close to HOR Mancu for P10. That is a battle we should switch to right now. Oh, Z-Womp goes extremely wide on the exit of the penultimate corner. And he gets a 3-second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got a 3-second time penalty for that. Is not good for him. Another big lockup for Z-Womp right there, as the Mancu has just gained so much time to Z-Womp. The Mercedes driver is just in a field of his own hurt right now as he's locking up all over the place. So I might need to do some live brake bias changing as we have 4 laps to go in this Austrian Grand Prix.
Definitely been an interesting one with the rain start. track drying out, strategy calls being made, and a lot of people just finding themselves with their hands full. The way that their car drives out in the rain, nobody prepared for that. And the surprise that the intermediates happened to work for as long as they did, honestly. I mean, as wet as it was out there, everybody had to really keep on their toes as there was somebody off there in front of Raven. I didn't quite see who that was. I think that was
it
Heineken.
may have been a lapped car. Oh, Simsbad has fallen out of position. What has happened to Simsbad? As the ultra soft tires have made their appearance on track, Simsbad's tires are caked with gravel right now, so it might have been Simsbad that was letting Raven through. Or some idiot through, as that was the 32 Williams ahead of him. But yeah, the Ultrasofts have made their appearance for the first time this race on Altony, a bit too late with 3 laps to go, as this race has kind of been stretched out all over the place and no real battles are happening except for the battles with lap traffic.
Well, Tesney now out on the Ultras. Let's see what he can do. I mean, got nothing to lose. Running low on fuel now. See just how fast. Oh, he nearly spins it. Yep, he spins it around. Got all caught up on the curb there. And going for the fast lap might just bite him. Don't stop there. Get going. Yes, there you go. That's going to be a little bit dangerous there for a bit.
Yeah, you don't want to stall your car on the exit of the pit lane or the exit of turn 1, since that is a blind turn 1. Luckily, the Williams, I think it was, passed him just cleanly. Right there as Pranky gets another 3-second time penalty. He's nearing disqualification if he gets about 1 more, I think.
Yeah, he really is. He's got to be careful. And he's been having some issues with the track limits pretty much every race there, I think, this season. But don't know exactly what is going through his mind at this point. I think he's just trying to keep it in the race at this point. I mean, you might as well. It's kind of tough, but... Yeah.
I have some ideas what he might be saying through his mind at some place, but I don't think it would be family friendly, so I'm not going to say them right now.
Why would you say that about him?
I'll tell you later.
Z-Womp, we're taking a look at Z-Womp, though. I thought he was going to be closing up here on Manku, but yeah, now he's actually having quite a struggle here with these tires, and with only a lap or 2 to go, you really just can't come in at this point. And look at the interval that Raven has opened up here on some idiot falling nearly 15 seconds behind.
Yeah, that way move down 10 positions to 10 seconds to that 5-second penalty, but Z-Womp just unleashing a cloud of smoke in that braking zone earlier, and he's not managing the tires well as we're entering. Oh wait, he's not the leader. We're on lap 35 of 36. I believe Raven just deserves this victory lap. Let's get on board and watch him take this final stroll around the beautiful Red Bull Ring here in the mountains of Austria. Certainly the hills are alive with horsepower right now. And honestly, it's been one wild race here today.
No, it really has for everybody involved. Honestly, it's such a chaotic start, a just massive strategy call to everybody just going pretty much out on intermediates. Just, I guess they might as well just see what happens. But you were right about the way that the track drained out, and it drained out so quickly as the rain slowed down. The intermediates were the right call. Yes, the first few laps were tough, considering how wet the track was, but instead of pitting twice, you go out on the intermediates, just wait it out, make sure you don't spin the car around as much as Mikey makes his way past Altesny. Altesny nearly collecting the leader. Raven.
My heart went into my lungs right there, and I was so glad that did not happen. That would have been the most unfortunate event in the world if that happened.
That would be absolute brutality as Raven manages to keep his cool and makes his way to the penultimate corner for the Austrian Grand Prix.
Coming around turn 9 for the last time, and around turn 10, riding on the curbs, swinging his hands into the air. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, ACR Raven, takes victory and closes the gap to Some Idiot in the championship, as Some Idiot takes his car around the last time and finishes in P2. The battle goes on here in AOR America as the train of AI cars have resulted to bump drafting each other throughout the back straight.
And you can see right there that so many people were were a lap down. Raven and Some Idiot were setting a blistering pace, but congrats to Simsbad for having the fastest lap of the race with a 107.015. And I don't know if we have championship implications here, but Raven, though, I believe, has set a faster time overall than we had in the preview, as Raven takes his wave.
Thank you, Zombie Gamer Girl. I've been working on my quotes. But it's Raven on top of the podium once again, as that gap to the leaders has fallen down. Lifts up the trophy, screams in pleasure. Say, spray the champagne. It's Raven, Some Idiot, and Fluffy Dave. All the smiles in the world after one crazy Grand Prix today.
I think it's fair to say an absolute barn burner. Apparently we get rewards for watching races.
Yes, we do. I'm a level 24 commentator.
Look at all those penalties, though. That's going to be the story of the races. Raven, Some Idiot, Fluffy Dave, Kingy AV, and Z3 Mikey round out the top 5.
Heineken, Sinzback, Kane Jr., Jallydun, and Mankiw go from 5 to 10.
And Zwomp, Intergalactic Gentleman, Italy Force, Pranky, and Altesny with the 15th. 16th, Jonathan, Spider and Jonathan AI did not finish the last two there, but you can see just so many penalties. It was a rough and tumble race, to say the least.
As we are closing in on the driver of the day, ladies and gentlemen, your driver of the day by a landslide is ACR Raven. Congratulations, ACR Raven, for being the driver of the day.
And unfortunately, I don't have an image for that.
Yeah, we really don't have an image for that. It didn't come with an image, so
that's okay. We're working out the kinks on that system, but yeah. And I'll be honest with you, well-deserved.
A well-deserved victory for ACR Raven, just dominating.
I mean, other than the fact that he dominated, other than the fact that, you know, he won the race, it was just the way that he did it. You know, yeah, he had that penalty, slight mistake there, and then when he realized he had that penalty, he needed to get ahead. Once he did that, he cruised to the end. He managed to keep the car under control, even though the setup clearly showed that that back end was definitely favored, especially in the second to last corner there. Coming down the hill off camber like that, that back end was sliding around all over the place. And he was able to keep it under control in the rain and not allow Some Idiot to make his way towards him and even attempt a pass. So fantastically done there by Raven. Some Idiot, though, with a valiant fight there. Clearly, this wasn't his track.
Yeah, he said some stuff about Red Bull Ring not being his favorite type of track. It's just pedal to the metal throughout it, and you're just trying to keep all control on the track throughout the races. So it's in the Discord, the ACR Raven photo that you need.
Oh, well,
yeah. Thank you, Dan. Discord, it's in the Discord here.
I got it.
Thank you, Dan, for that, as we're gonna put that up on the screen as let's see if these guys want a interview. Let's hop into the commentary box on the AOR Discord. My voice may go extremely quiet very soon. Are we hopping in there or what?
Yeah, let's hop in there. Just wanted to move Discord so that everybody knew where to find me as we get this going here. Thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been fantastic.
There we go.
There it is.
Hello, hello. Welcome, Raven and some idiot, to the post-race interview. Raven, I just want to say congrats on another victory, and you won Driver of the Day. So how do you, what do you want to say after that?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, thanks for, I guess, all the people who stayed up to watch tonight. Yeah, just tried to follow up on my promise of what I said last Sunday, try to make it back-to-back wins. First time I've been able to do it this season, so happy about that. And yet again, just want to thank Jan Failer for providing a pretty decent setup for tonight. It was kind of sketchy in the rain again, but you know, just enough to hold on for the win. And it was really, really good whenever I put the softs on and was able to pull away. So.
Was the start tricky for you with the whole intermediate tires? I know you really had a clean road ahead of you. This is more of a question to some idiot. Did that affect you in any sort of way? Your mindset, strategy, fuel load, I guess.
Can you restate or repeat the question, please? Sorry.
Was the wet start a challenge to you?
Yeah. I didn't put enough fuel in for one. I really thought we were going to be racing for longer in the rain. I don't know. It was interesting. I'll give it that. That's about the best positive word I could give you at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah, not a lot.
There you go.
Not a lot. You're going to say after the race, Ninja.
Oh,
any questions?
Yeah, I got plenty I'm going to say, but I'm not going to say it here because I'm not a masochist.
Well,
I would just like to point out that I finally have the image for Raven here for Driver of the Day. Spectacular drive. And like you mentioned, you know, you made good on your promise. And, I mean, it was just one of those races, I think. If you weren't planning for the rain, you really had to just make it work. And I'll be honest, I don't think anybody was planning for the rain.
No, I mean, obviously we were able to see the weather beforehand, but yeah, I think the rain was pretty much like as heavy as you could get, or right on the cusp of being, you know, full wet tires at the start. I mean, it was just skating around, dancing around, just like on ice, kind of reminiscent of last Sunday actually in France, towards the end, the last couple laps. So once the rain kind of died down a little bit, it definitely got a lot easier after a few laps on the track, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had to dodge some bullets out there on track, but I think that's about where I'll leave that. So, but overall, it was still a pretty enjoyable race, and was kind of nice to be able to just put on one set of dry tires and just really ring it there at the end and go as fast as I could there for the last stint in the race.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining in with us tonight, as honestly, it's been one heck of a race. And Austin, what do you think, man? Any closing words?
Silverstone is going to be fun.
Silverstone is always fun. I love Silverstone.
I hope so. I love Austria, but yeah, that's disappointing, to say the least.
Silverstone should be fantastic. Guys, thank you for joining us this evening. And I guess we'll see you, next week for Silverstone.
Yeah, we will, y'all. Have a good night.